One of the things I began thinking about was oh, that's not the screen that I wanted it to be. We'll just there we go. One of the things I've been thinking about lately has been Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Because as we go into a more dangerous time, as we go into more uncertainty, as we go into unfortunately what looks like is going to be, you know, 1930s to electric boogaloo, um, I think that we're going to need to pay attention to what are the fundamental needs that people in our communities have, what are the fundamental needs that we have on an individual basis and those around us, right? Um, and so it got me thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And actually, I saw a Bow of the Fifth Column video where they were talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it had my brain turning about you guys, folks in the community, right? And you know, one of the things that we've been trying to do in the Discord is kind of provide for these second and third order things like love and belonging, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection, etc. That's why we're trying to put on more movie nights, more. I think I've seen some of you on the Discord getting together like tabletop gaming stuff to do online. That's going to be really important, and I know it might not seem like that's really important, but that stuff is going to be where your brain is going to be able to connect with other people, And I think that maybe we need to do like some different types of movie nights where like people can talk during the movie in the voice chat, stuff like that. I think connecting you guys in a variety of different ways is going to be very good for all of us involved, right? And that in of itself fosters, the friendship, a sense of family, community, etc., that I think is going to be really important. And that sense of community also helps to reinforce safety needs, but also to the the point of safety. I know we have a lot of like security IT specialists in the community. I think maybe we should open like a new part of the Discord under resources specifically about, cybersecurity. I think that would be really good. And I think we also should open up a community jobs board. So that's I like a community jobs board so that you guys can hook each other up with employment when that is, scarce, when things might get a little bit more dire, when people are moving around. Because frankly, I think it's going to be pretty important to have a job. And people are going to be moving, obviously, and being able to hook up each other with employment would be really good. So that's kind of where my brain has been, because we're already putting together resources for information that can help people make more informed choices about where they're going, which areas are safe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, safe health clinics, et cetera. But then getting to physiological needs, one, we're not going to help you with reproduction. You're on your own for that one, okay? But when it comes to air, I think you're also on your own with that one. I think you got it. You got this. Water, for the most part, I think you guys got this. But maybe we need to have like some just like water safety tips, or like ways you can purify water, etc. I don't know. Also, periodic reminders to drink water, etc. But when it comes to and shelter, we have that covered in resources. I don't know if there's a formalized way we can do that. But one of the things I was really thinking about was food and clothing and how we might be able to help you guys with that. And so I was kind of spitballing throughout today, which is I think coming up with a list of like staple foods and like basic recipes, dried beans, rice, things that will last for a long time. Um, and putting that together into some kind of what I'm calling a distributed community pantry. Yeah, flour, etc. And so one of the idea that I had for this, and I'm just putting it out there, it's not finalized or anything like that, but we establish a set of staple foods or ingredients, and then we ask community members to commit to providing those items. And then those who need assistance in that way can roll up with wish lists, online wish lists that have like those items. And whoever we cycle through people who've made commitments to provide those items. Okay? That's the basic concept, right? And I think that can be expanded to also include clothing. And I think it would also be maybe acceptable to with clothing to have like the ability for people to just like clothes swap with other members of the community, with the exception, of course, of underwear and socks. Those got to be new, But I think setting up some kind of system for that would be really good, because I think we're going to be going into a series of years here where things are going to get real tough. Okay? Like the tariffs are going to hurt. And if they are employed as widely as the Trump administration has been indicating, that it's going to hurt a lot. And I know that that's going to put people into uncomfortable positions where they're going to need some extra help to make do, And I want to build a space where we can at least be some part of assistance. It's obviously, I don't think it's going to be like a cure-all silver bullet type thing. And the other thing about this is that it's going to be a system that relies heavily on trust and assumption of good faith. And so to that end, like, it's not supposed to be like your first go-to for assistance, because other people in the community are going to be struggling too, or are struggling already. But this can be one of the fallbacks for you guys if times get harder than we fear they might. Yeah, social programs are going to get cut. A lot of things are going to suffer, and your local support systems may not be able to come through for you. And I want us to build a system that can, at the very least, potentially be an avenue of assistance for you guys. Does that make sense? Yeah, SNAP, Medicare, Medicaid. I mean, everything's kind of on the table at this point. Also, this makes sense and sounds good. Thanks, Lady Raincloud. And yes, you can have that. We are going to talk about bathroom bans, and Ohio's definitely going to be a part of it. Fuck Ohio. Okay, I'll work on fleshing out some kind of document, open source document you guys can use. Maybe Salmon Moose, maybe you can help me with that. With like the distributed community pantry and like cold weather stuff, cold weather clothing. and blankets. I think that would be really, really good. And I know that you are very capable of putting together a good form, and it would be much appreciated. Damn, I'm late. Did I miss anything important? We were just talking about community organizing. Can you give me a couple days? Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. I know like people got stuff going on. But when you can get to it, let me know, and we'll put our heads together on that and try and put something out for the community. Food supply stores for restaurants will sell very large stacks of rice and beans that can stay good for 2 years. Yep. Which is why I'm proposing that people put together like wish lists that can be like you just buy it on Amazon if you don't want to stockpile rice and beans. But if you're the kind of person who's going to stockpile rice and beans, and you can just send a package of rice and beans to someone who's struggling, that would be another way of like fulfilling that, you know. You're welcome, Valerian Damocles Marcellus. So yeah, basically we're gonna go into some dark times, but I want to spend the time we have getting ready for those dark times so that we can help each other, and maybe even help other people who come into our community in the future. So that's kind of where my brain has been. Whew. 10-4. And also, I appreciate all of you, like, working together on this, because it's going to take all of us working together, like, putting those resources together. If you want to help, one of the ways you and my community can help, join the Discord, riverboat.gg/Discord. And then you can go to the resources section of the Discord or the Lavender Pages section of the Discord. Because in both of those, we are collecting sets of skills that community members have that they want to make available to others, either teaching them those skills or benefiting from those skills in some way. Maybe clothing mending, etc., cooking, etc. Fill out your skills, and also consider checking out and seeing if you can actually use those resources, because they are for you to use. And hey,
what if you're the kind of person who stockpiles caviar and saffron threads?
I know what caviar is. I don't know what saffron threads are. So I don't know. But that's why one of the ways that I think would be good for supporting other members of the community is being able to simply buy people food or clothing off of various wish lists as necessary. And now keep in mind, these are not going to be like sexy clothing. You buy that. No. But it's going to be like a jacket, blanket, stuff that you need. Okay. And saffron is the most expensive spice on the market. I did not know that. I knew it was a spice. I didn't know it was the most expensive one. I have to be honest, I don't think I've ever cooked anything with saffron in it. God damn. All right. Let's see. Saffron rice is the common method? Huh. All right. Let's see. Also, Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. But go over to the Discord. There are a bunch of things with open forms for you to fill in your information, what you want to make available to the community. And you can also talk a bit.
On the Roads with Bo has a very good video playlist on what to have for emergencies. The CDC has a good list in their zombie outbreak page.
True. Good pieces of advice. Consider submitting those links over under that resource tab. I'm sure that there is a section you can put it in. I just don't know off the top of my head. And we're also needing help filling out lavender pages, which is the community project to kind of create and rainbow. What's it called? The Rainbow Road, the Rainbow Book. Lavender pages and Rainbow Book. Basically, these are the tools and resources to pool community knowledge about what spaces are safe for LGBTQ folks, or folks who may be on the road for other reasons. Folks of who may or may not be targeted by the state. So, all of this is to say, pool your knowledge over there because it's very, very important for us to have that as we go forward. Recommend people who menstruate get a menstruation cup. It's reusable, lasts for months to up to a year if you wash it in hot water. That's a good piece of advice. Axolotls with cream. Maybe we can open a new doc that has those kinds of tips. Go under the resource here. I'm gonna open up the Discord myself here. I guess I can give you better direction. Yeah, under resources, either under the resources general chat or under suggestions, let's start collecting these kinds of good pieces of practical advice for cost cutting, because I think that's going to be important too. All right. It sucks having to talk about all this. It's not fun. It's not fun for me, and I know it's not fun for you guys, but I do think it's important. Yeah, and kind of to really hammer home some of the aspects here. One of the important components of this is that this cannot be the one thing you are doing. You also have to be more intentional from here on out, guys. And I know this is difficult because a lot of us have social anxiety, a lot of us struggle with talking with people, but we kind of have to do that. We have to, as we've been going through those lessons on tyranny, one of the things you're going to have to do and reckon with is that we are in a time of increased responsibility.
Best way to cost cut. Gift endless subs to Riverboat Jack.
Well, yes, you are still legally obligated to support me, otherwise I die. So thank you for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs, Sake Tanuki. I really, really appreciate them. But one of what I mean by like this time of increased responsibility is that we have an increased responsibility to each other, but also to get outside of our comfort zones. And one of the ways you can be brave in the face of oncoming fascism is to go out and talk with other people IRL. Talk with people in your community, get to know people by name, bake your neighbors a cake, bake your neighbors some cookies, all right? Get over there, talk to them. Learn about them, because that is also a vital component of your safety and your mental well-being. Knowing actual honest to God people in your community you can rely on. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk to your neighbors, but like find your local queer community club, join a book club, because taking the time to relax is also important. Taking the time to enjoy yourself is important, but so is building out that community network, because that community network is going to be really important for your safety. And that can't just be the online community that we have, which is great, but you need to do more. Yes, I'm also not saying go knock on the door of your next door neighbor who, has signs about hanging Joe Biden or something. Don't do that. You exercise common sense, please. Yeah, if you've ever wanted to learn how to shoot, maybe consider joining up with your local John Brown Rifle Club or the Socialist Rifle Association, or join DSA. DSA is everywhere. These are these are ways you can connect with other people in your community who can be helpful to you and to whom you can be helpful, because it's a two-way street. Join a Stitch and Bitch Club? Hell yeah. Let's go. Also, learn to mend your clothes. Yes, even socks. You can mend socks. That's why I want people to submit their skills in the mutual aid skills form we have. Because then you know who can help teach you how to mend, who can help teach you how to sew, or who you can rely on to send your important clothing to get mended. If you can't afford a tailor, which a lot of people can't. Okay. I think that's everything I have for community, with one last addendum, which is that we have people submitting all kinds of information. We have people submitting all kinds of stuff. One of our community members, Stoudman, wrote an entire article about why you should move to Tacoma, and goes in depth about why Tacoma is a safe place to move to, has a lot of different programs, a lot of ways that they're going to be trying to keep you safe. And this is all great information to put in our community Lavender Pages resources. This is the kind of stuff, take the time to put together this data. Few reasons I feel like the state of Washington is a mostly safe state where transgender and non-binary Americans can feel safe, that their rights will be protected. Beyond that, I rarely ever see anyone say or do anything transphobic in the greater Seattle, Tacoma, Olympia area. If I had to describe the vibe, I'd say that normies here have a live and let live attitude. Most people keep to themselves otherwise. Yeah, what makes Tacoma so great? This is really great. They have renters' rights in Tacoma. They have, and again, there are places like this all across the United States, but we need to make sure, if you live in one of those areas or know of one of those areas, not everyone, I have to be honest, guys, I don't know jack shit about Tacoma, okay? But I trust Stoudman. I trust this community when we talk about what places are safe. So, if you're looking for places to go, yeah, here. Tacoma has a form of rent control. In 2023, the fine people of Tacoma voted to pass a proposition to cap rent hikes at just 5% per year. This keeps the cost of rent relatively low in comparison to other cities in Washington. And then, hey, does a great job of laying out what rent is usually like. That's pretty great. Surprisingly good food. That looks like a good pizza. All right. Wait, is that the guy who introduced all the goddamn Warner Brothers cartoons when I was a kid? Sorry, 1 second.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
It is! God damn, you legend.
The Grand Cinema is the South Sound's home for local, foreign, and independent film. A theater like this is more than just a projection room. It's a gathering place for people who really care about intelligent, provocative movies.
And also, guys, keep in mind, where can I find this resource? It's in our Discord under the Lavender Pages, okay? I believe Stadman posted it there. but also we're compiling all kinds of information like this. This is the kind of information we want in the Lavender Pages documents. For this, we want you to help collect data like this for the community.
I've been coming here ever since I was a little girl. My grandma volunteered here for years, so it's been a family place to come to and enjoy good movies.
I just like everything about the Grant. There's nothing I don't like.
The popcorn is the best. And I like all the volunteers that, you see, you just know that they love film as much as I do.
You're going to see someone's blood, sweat, tears, heart, brain, whatever they put into that film, you're going to see it on that screen.
I feel like going to the Grand Cinema is kind of like being at Cinema Paradiso or one of these super eccentric and communal kinds of theaters. And so I feel like this is my home theater. Going anywhere else would be like a compromise.
If these films mean something to you, bring friends. Tell them to come to the Grand Cinema with you. They'll thank you for it.
That was really adorable, by the way. Like, my God. Also, Stadman, to give this a good home, I'm going to open up a Tacoma section of the Discord, a Tacoma area part of the Lavender Pages. If you want to post your article in there, and I'll pin it. I'll add it to the pinned posts in there. But this is exactly the kind of information that we want to put together for you guys. And like, this article's great. It has the cheapest spots for groceries are usually Winco and grocery outlet. And like, I gotta be honest with you guys, I've never heard of either of those grocery stores. So when people are moving across the country, they don't know which grocery store is the good one. They don't know which grocery store is the cheapest one. They don't know where to get shit. You got to help people who are coming into these communities because they're going to need help. Blinks blankly in Michigander. Is that like Melgers? And I gotta be honest with you, I have no idea what the fuck a Melgers is. This is why we need that information. So I know that a lot of things look really scary right now, guys. I know that things look really bleak. But where we're going to find hope and support is in each other, in community. Look, I don't know how to say it. I don't even know how to say the grocery store, I guess. But like, yeah, we need all the help we can get. So please be a part of our community building efforts, because we want to be able to help you and help each other.